Hi everybody and welcome back to LL Sports TV, our usual, is it post-mortem today?
Post-mortem, yeah, it's a bit of
we
more
did
of a positive
win,
one,
but
yeah, positive one.
But I'm delighted to say I'm here with my boy
Yes,
Quams, big up Quams in the building.
Yes, brother.
We've just watched Arsenal beat Girona 2-1 away from home, and by doing so, Arsenal have cemented their place into the next round of the Champions League. They finished third out of 36, which is very commendable.
Very good.
And yeah, man.
Very good. It's positive times.
It's positive times.
Listen, I mean, look, you think about it, if we could have gone back to the start of the season and you said, look, would you take third place in the new Champions League format and you're under the likes of Liverpool, Inter Milan, oh no, not Inter Milan, Barcelona, you would have been like, what, we can get that far? And yeah, we have. We've managed to get. We've done very well. And then,
especially when you consider that over the last few years, we've not played a lot of Champions League football.
There you go. Still a new squad. They're relatively new to this. This is new experience, new manager, or not a new manager, but Arteta as well. The same thing. And we've come up really good. I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed with the squad. With this,
the actual performance, though, some people are saying, and again, I don't want to be negative, but I did the watch along for AFTV. Shout out to all the man.
Yeah.
You weren't there. You were watching the game, though.
Yeah. I was sleeping watching.
Some people were saying that the performance was less than stellar. It was rather underwhelming. Went a goal down, actually. Actually, let's talk about that, man.
Go on.
That goal that we conceded, man, that was a bit of a comedy of errors. First, Partey, I've got to say, listen, I'm a big fan of Partey, but I'm not a big fan of Partey at right back. And today, again, you saw a couple of weeks ago, he had a slip up against Villa, allowed the man to ghost in behind him. Yeah. And I think it was it Ollie Watkins or one of them, man?
Yep.
Right. He was against Villa anyway.
Yeah, it was.
And yeah, he come up short there. And again tonight, I don't know what he was doing, man, but he didn't have the correct spatial awareness. Yeah. He let the man run behind him. He got away from him. And then the keeper decides to do a madness.
Calamity.
That was a real comedy of error. I don't know what, do you know? Well, obviously you do know. You know your football. But if he touches that,
he gets sent off. Yeah, he gets sent off.
What's he doing?
I know. It's, you know what it is? It goes to show you that the lack of game time for Neto. And I was speaking to Mari about it because obviously he was like, surely he's been playing in the reserve games. And I'm like, no, it's the lack of game time. When it's your time, this is your opportunity to shine. Sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming for players. And I feel like Neto was probably geared himself up so much. Then when the moment comes, he's not thinking straight. That one there, as Raya would have done, he would have just stayed back in his goal and allowed the man to run. If he's going to get past Partey, he would have allowed him to come close to him. Delay. But yeah, he kind of was caught in two minds. Or you
stand back on your line. You don't commit yourself too early. Then you know what I mean, putting doubts in the attacker's mind.
Exactly.
Because, you know what I mean? You have to present yourself as a big target in front of the goal rather than rushing out and making it easier for him.
He made it easy for him. So yeah, that was, and I'll be honest with you people, I was flicking through the games because obviously it's 18 games. So I was just like, well, what's the most exciting game? And then I was watching the Villa game and they're like, Arsenal just conceded. And I was like, is it going to be one of those days where we're going to lose, we're going to drop points, even though we were still more or less qualified, but you want to go out with a win. So yeah, that was a bit disappointing. Partey getting caught out, but I'm not surprised.
And I think earlier on in that, just before that penalty as well, he'd slipped over, innit?
Yeah.
So that
I'm not surprised. If you play Partey at right back, as much as he will do okay, he's got a few mistakes and then he's got lapses of concentration. When you play against top opposition, especially if you try and do this rubbish in the next 16, you're gonna get found out. We'll get found out, mate. Honestly.
But we got back into it, courtesy of a penalty that we got. And to be fair to Partey, he won it. He won the penalty. So shout out to Thomas.
Yeah, well done, Partey. You redeemed yourself.
He did redeem himself.
Yeah.
And Jorginho put the penalty away with aplomb, which he always does in the Champions League. I think that's 10 penalties taken in Champions League.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. But on that, I was a little bit surprised that Odegaard didn't take it. Now maybe you can advise us, but Odegaard's the captain. I thought he was a designated penalty taker. So if you're the captain and a designated penalty taker, I do find it somewhat surprising that Jorginho took the penalty. Although, as people like Nick and
he's the best penalty taker.
One or two other people have said, who cares as long as they score, which is fine. But even so, what do you think? Do you think that Odegaard should have taken it, or are you not bothered?
I wasn't really bothered. I was just more happier that Jorginho, because I know how good Jorginho is. I think, you know what, maybe there was a bit of doubt in Odegaard's mind, because obviously he didn't score his last open play penalty.
Although he did score in that penalty
shootout, but he didn't score in the game.
No.
So I think it was one of those ones where maybe he said, you know what, the next one I'll give to Jorginho, because to be honest, I feel like Jorginho is the best penalty taker.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So yeah, I think that's where Odegaard was.
No, it's not a big team, but I just wondered whether he was maybe shirking a little bit responsibility.
It's the confidence, isn't it?
Exactly, and that's why I was going there, because even today he didn't really play that well, Odegaard, did he?
No, he played within himself, but I think they've obviously got one mind on the City game on the weekend. Probably the trip to Dubai. They're already thinking about that as well.
Hey, listen, man, don't even think about Dubai. You got big business to take care of.
Think about Dubai
on Sunday. We're going to be. But listen, we equalise, and then a few minutes later, that man, Ethan Nwaneri. I'm not sure if I pronounced his name right. But listen, man, the Niger man out there watching will tell us. But listen, this guy for me, he's the most exciting footballer at Arsenal Football Club right now, without any shadow of a doubt. What I love about him, not just that he's talented, but I love the mentality. He's got that, what I call the impetuosity of youth. He's fearless. He gets the ball. Immediately he gets the ball, he's thinking, right, I'm going to drive at the... You like that, right?
I like that one.
Impetuosity of youth. Check it out. Go Google that shit. He'll get the ball, bro, seriously, and he'll look up and he wants to take on the man.
Yeah.
Having taken on the man, he's not satisfied. He's looking up.
Yeah.
If the shot's on,
he'll
take the shot. He's not worried about whether he's going to miss or whatever. And I wish more Arsenal players would adopt that same attitude. One thing I am quite critical of Arsenal is that sometimes we overdo it. Yeah. Some people have called it woke football, where they just look to control, play all the pretty passing and stuff. But you know what I mean? You need that cutting edge. Yeah. With Ranieri, you know he's going to try and affect the game in a positive way. And he deserved his goal, a brilliant goal. And once that goal goes in, you're thinking, yeah, man, it's game over. Because Arsenal were clearly the better team. Slightly disappointed that we didn't score in the second half, but Qualms, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, just again, like you spoke well about Ranieri. I just think he's fearless. I wish, like you said, the same thing. I wish a lot of the players had that, but I think it's something that comes with youth. And obviously Arteta's using it to his advantage, but he's seizing the opportunity. This is his opportunity. This is his platform. Saka's not there. Who can step up? And I always said, I've been saying that for weeks. Who's going to step up? And now I'm thinking of it. I'm like, Saka could come back, and then you got Ranieri on one side, you got Saka on another. That's actually quite tasty, you know. And it's the same way Saka kind of burst onto the scene, and he was very direct and he was running at players. Ranieri's doing exactly the same thing. I really like the finishing. I just like the way he really caught the ball. His contact, he can really strike a ball, and that's something that's lacking within our team as well. He's not afraid to have a shot. I can't remember what game it was before, but he was playing in the number 10 role, and he had a few chances where he kind of dropped the shoulder and he let off a shot, but he went over the bar. So I was really happy he got this one on target. But he's 17. He's the second youngest English player to score in the Champions League. He's got man of the match at 17. Arsenal Academy. Shout out to Haaland, Arsenal Academy, because you got Miles, you got Saka, you got him. You got, who else? Max Downham as well. All of these boys.
I was going to say Aiden Heaven, but
he's gone now. What are you doing? Yeah. So it's like, with the amount of talent that we are producing. And
Josh Nichols.
Josh Nichols as well. And we're producing, and they're performing at the highest level at such a young age. It's phenomenal. Today was his night.
Shout out to the young man.
Yeah.
He done well, and he was the one that took my eye.
Yeah, 100%. He needs to start though on Sunday. Well, he needs to start.
We're kind of digressing or segueing.
Yeah, segue.
You like that one?
Impetuosity. Segue
nicely into
man. I like that one.
What comes next, man? Which is this to me is game of the season.
Stay humble. Stay humble.
Remember what Gabriel said to Haaland?
He said,
"See you at the Emirates."
Yeah, come back.
So this is like a big fight. Like you know, I'm into my boxing.
Yeah.
To me, this is like Joshua Fury or serious.
Yeah,
this is. I'm looking for. I was watching that game tonight, and as soon as it ended, I thought, right, I'm so glad this is over. Put that to bed.
Yeah.
Focus on the City game. That 100%. Is going to be a humdinger. That's war, bro.
No, it is.
That's war.
It's
It might not even be the best game in terms of quality. I mean, it's two quality teams, but you know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be so fiercely contested, it might not be the best in terms of a football spectacle. So if you're going to tune in as a neutral expecting pretty football and all that, I don't think you're going to get that. What you are going to get
physical
is two teams going at it. You got Haaland, he's a beast, but then we've got beasts as well.
Yeah, we've got two beasts.
Yeah, Gabriel and Saliba.
Or four, really. Yeah.
And then you go through the two teams, man. There's plenty of quality there. You got Foden on their side. You've got Bernardo Silva, you've got Wanyeri, you've got Odegaard, you got, listen, man.
Declan Rice. No, it's going to be a good game. I think, like I was saying to you just before we started recording with Man City, I watched them. They didn't look the same in the first half. Second half, I guess because they were chasing the game, there was a lot at stake. They had to play out of their skin. Was it the old Man City that I've seen dominate and, like brush teams aside? No. So they were fairly open, and I feel like we actually have a chance. The fact that we're at home as well, but I think this is unfinished business, isn't it?
Definitely, man.
This is something, I was just watching back at the goals that we scored. Calafiori played a big part, Gabriel as well. But I just don't want, I believe we'll lead the game. I just don't want them to come back and to get a draw. These little John Stones or Gundogan turns
You're going to
up.
have to be on it.
We have to be on it. We have to be mentally
Some might
focused.
say that as much as we bigged up the physical aspect and, that whole war thing, some people would say that maybe it's best for Arsenal to try and take the emotion out of the game.
Literally,
And be professional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
yeah,
once you get too carried away with all the physical, but it's going to be hard though, man. When you got warlords in your team, like
warlords,
Gabriel, and then you got Haaland, who I respect a lot, man. He's a beast.
Yeah, he is. I think Miles Lewis-Skelly will play a big part,
and he's important. As well, man.
he made a good challenge today.
And he likes a physical
he's
battle
solid.
too.
So it's going to be. I'm looking forward to it. The Man City are not playing their best football, and we have to take advantage of that. Okay, we're not playing our best, but this could be the springboard to say, you know what, if we beat City, then we go into the Newcastle game.
Yeah.
We can come back in the Newcastle game perhaps. Then we can have a nice break. We've been playing so much football. I'm shattered. I feel like I've been
emotionally drained.
Yeah, I'm emotionally drained. I actually could do with a break.
If you're like that now, what are you going to be like on Sunday?
Oh, mate, I'm just like literally just get the game done. I want the game to be done because I feel like everyone just deserves a break from it. But this is such an important game. Yeah, you're right. In terms of just separating that emotion, being professional, and being confident. And obviously, it's down to Arteta who he decides to play. But Sterling had his chance today.
Let's talk about Sterling.
Go on,
for a minute, because I was getting a bit of stick from them, man. There. Tell me what you think. So, listen, I have been a long time admirer of Raheem Sterling, right? And it's not just because he's Jamaican, which is, listen, I'm from the heritage, so you want to see the
you got to back
Jamaican
him up. Yeah, it's like me and Partey.
Exactly. Yeah. So when you're in that space, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So our white fans out there, try to understand where I'm coming from. I want to see the man do well for more than just one reason. But I've got to say, man, that today was another disappointing day for Raheem.
He's not the same.
He's not the same guy.
He's a shadow of who he was,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah. And when I first really saw that, bro? When we played Tottenham and he was up against Jed Spence. And Jed Spence, who's not even normally in the Tottenham team, he owned Raheem.
He had him in his pocket.
He had him in his pocket. And I looked at him that day and I thought, right, you know what? The likes of Turkish and all, when they said he's finished and he's done, I think they're right, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's trying, but it's just not working. And I'm thinking that even though he's 30, he's a kind of old 30 because he bursts onto the scene really young, innit? I can remember Raheem Sterling, check this out.
Go on.
I can remember the game vividly. I was at the game. I think he was 16 and he played up top. I think Suarez might have been out, whoever it was at the time. He led the attack for Liverpool that day against Mertesacker, and he gave Mertesacker the run around. And I was like, "Raw, 16-year-old." And then obviously gone on to achieve so much at Liverpool, Man City. He didn't go right for him at Chelsea. He's come to us, and I'm thinking, okay, I know he's in the last run of his career, but I was thinking that we could get a little thing out of it.
Yeah.
So to see it...
Ain't got nothing. It's dry. It's empty bowl.
So to see it turn out like this, as it's going so far, it's kind of sad to see for me, Rick.
It is. No, it is sad. You never want to see like a demise or a downfall of a player, but I think because we really needed a player to come in, and he was the last transfer that came through the door. And, you know, we listened to Arteta, we listened to everyone that's like, yeah, you know what, he's going to turn up for us. I believed he would do something.
I thought so.
Because he had the minerals. It's there. Like, if you look at his history, you look at his stats, what he's done, 100%. But I just think it's too far gone.
Yeah.
I don't want to
looking
write
like
a
an
player
old
off,
30-year-old.
but he does. He looks like, I looked in his eyes before he took that penalty and I saw doubt.
Yeah.
I didn't see a man that was once a killer.
And it was a
finished his
sympathy
dinner.
penalty, innit?
Yeah.
I mean, we were winning 2-1. It was near the end of the game. I'm sure if that had been taken place earlier in the game, he would not have taken that penalty.
Yeah.
But it's almost as if they were saying, look,
You said a
take the
pity penalty.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Bit like when Havertz had that penalty against Bournemouth a season or so ago, but he converted it. That's the difference. You almost knew Raheem was going to miss. And then there was another chance in the game where he actually beat a couple of players, had a shot, but he just dribbled across the floor, innit?
And this is what I'm saying about striking the ball. That's what I'm saying. When you see Wanyeri and he hit a ball, Sterling, all of these players, Havertz, they haven't got that in their locker, more or less. So.
And how ironic was it as well that at the end of the game, you had Wanyeri, 17 years old. He came on to commiserate with Sterling.
Console him.
Yeah, and you're thinking, right, that
putting his arm around him. It should be. I mean, I've heard that Sterling has had a positive influence on all of them.
I'm sure he has.
He's done that to a lot of the youngsters there, but you want to see that on the pitch. And
listen, I've heard that Sterling is a super nice guy. I've never met him, but I know
we don't
people
want
that
nice
have met
guys
him.
on the pitch. We want killers.
Yeah, exactly. He's not getting paid to be a nice guy.
Come on,
He's getting paid to score. But anyway, that's enough with the Sterling thing. I think Mourinho as well wasn't a game for him to remember.
No.
We've talked about the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
We've talked about Wanyeri having a good game. Jorginho, I thought, played well.
He done well.
But there wasn't too many people that overly impressed tonight. Some would argue we didn't have to.
Who would you want to see start for sure? Who would you like, especially with the front line? The front line, let's say.
It's a good question, man. A lot of people are saying Wanyeri has to start, and I'm kind of with that. But I don't think our manager would do that. I think he'll go with Martin. Yeah, I think he'll play Martinelli, man, on the left.
He might put
on the right and Havertz through the middle.
No.
I think they'll revert back to the midfield trio which is our best midfield trio.
Rice.
Partey, Rice, and Odegaard.
Yeah.
And at the back, I think it will be Timber and what's his name? Miles,
or
the two fullbacks. No, not Cal. Calafiori didn't have a really good game tonight.
Well, bring him on from the bench, you reckon?
Yeah, but I think Miles Skelly will start, especially after what happened last week.
Yeah,
he
with the red card.
Got the ban overturned. He'll be full of beans. He'll be looking forward to that game. And he's got the right personality for that game as well.
Yeah.
So him and Timber will be the two fullbacks. In the middle, we spoke about the two warriors, Saliba and Gabriel.
Warlords.
Yes.
And what you say, Neto in goal?
No, man.
David Raya will come back into goal.
He might get a charity. What's that charity shield game if we win the title? That's probably the next time we'll see him in goal. He didn't impress tonight, which is a shame.
It is a shame.
But
it's a shame.
Nah, I don't think you can trust him.
No,
right now, anyway.
You can't.
So that's my team.
You reckon we're going to win?
I think we will, I think we will. I think it's going to be a fiercely contested game. I do think City will bring it. I think we can win by the odd goal. And the reason why I'm saying that is that we're at home. I think the fans will turn it into a bit of a cauldron.
Yeah.
And I think that we will eke out a goal, 1-0 or a 2-1. What do you think?
I reckon 2-1. I was thinking it's going to be a close one, 2-1. I don't want to draw. We need a win as well.
We need a win.
We need to set a statement, to Liverpool. Because I feel like, the last couple of games, even though we won, the Wolves one, we need a good performance against a top team. Yeah. And then, like I said, once you have a break, after the Newcastle game, you have a nice little break, I think we'll come back guns blazing. Hopefully we'll have a striker, maybe a Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, just quickly, what do you reckon of that?
What, the Ollie Watkins? I'm happy with it. I think he's got all the minerals to be a top.
Do you think we'll get him now, be honest?
Yeah, there's something about it.
I'll tell you why I'm very sceptical of this.
You reckon that they're just doing it to show face?
Yes, and I'll tell you why I say that. Maybe not just to save face. They have to kind of go for him, innit? Because
he's an Arsenal fan. He's a striker. He's not playing full time because they favour Duran. But even though Duran is gone,
Duran's going.
He's gone.
Duran's all but going. He's agreed terms with the Saudi Arabia club. From what I understand today, he's had a medical. And everything looks set for that move to happen. So if you're Aston Villa,
are you going to get rid of?
You're going to sell your best player or one of your best players to Arsenal, who, let's face it, you're going to be competing for a possible Champions League place. Let's just say we don't win the league. You know what I mean? We're going for Champions League. So are they. They're also in the same Champions League tournament that we're in this season. They want to achieve things. They're a big club. What would it look like to a Villa fan for them to sell their best striker to Arsenal? It's just not going to happen. And if they did entertain it, they're going to be charging us extortionate amounts of money. And I just don't think it will happen.
They said, what, 60 mil? 60 mil too much? 80 mil?
Who said that though? That's what Arsenal were bidding.
Apparently the initial bid was like 60 mil.
You think Villa are going to sell one of their prized assets for 60 to Arsenal?
How high would you go for Watkins?
To be honest, I'm not even entertaining. I just don't think it's going to happen, especially now that Duran. Even if Duran weren't going, we would have stood more chance of getting Duran. And even then, I don't think Villa would let Duran go to Arsenal. For the simple fact that you imagine if Duran comes to Arsenal and start banging it, and then how would it look to a Villa? We'd be looking at them like some little small club.
It's only unless they have someone coming in. That's the only thing.
Well,
that's the only thing.
A couple of days left to the window. The window ends very
ridiculous.
soon.
We've left it to last. This is what we said, you know. So if we don't bring in anyone, I fear, although there's a lot of positive with the youth and players coming back from injury, I fear that we won't have enough to go the distance in the title.
I mean, listen, anyone could bid for a player now. Anyone could bid for anything.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'd like to get with Rihanna based on that. Anybody could say they want to do this. I hope my girlfriend's not watching this, by the way. I'm only joking.
He's not.
Babe, I'm only joking. But you know what I'm saying, right? We all aspire, we all want things. I could go into a shop, right, and bid for a Rolex watch that costs 30 grand. So you know what, I'll give you 5 grand. They'll just laugh me out the shop.
Yeah.
We're not getting Ollie Watkins. I don't think so. I hope we get somebody, but I don't think it's going to be.
We need to, especially if we're through to the next round of Champions League. I was looking at all the other players just quickly before you wrap it up. Rodrigo, you know, you're looking at these Bayern Munich and their players. They've all got different stars that can do different things. We can't just be relying on Wanyeri. He's not going to carry us through the Champions League. Exactly. I'll be real with you.
And it's not fair on him. He's only 17.
Yeah. It's not fair. So, Arsenal need to do the business. He's fantastic. He is our star boy, isn't he? He's another
at the
one.
moment,
Yeah, he's another one. So,
but Quams, big
brother.
Quams in the building, man. It's always nice to chop it up with you, man, on these what I call the post-mortem show. Hopefully you'll be around on Sunday.
Yeah, I'll be around Sunday.
And we will give you our full, unadulterated opinions on that game, man.
Hopefully.
We're hoping and praying for a win. I think we're going to just about get there.
Yeah.
But listen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. If you're new here, please like, share and subscribe. And we are out. See you soon.